Greetings! I'd like to welcome you to Orton Gillingham Training. My job right now is to talk to you about the bag of goodies you received in preparation for this training. First, you have your manual, which is your source for all things Orton Gillingham related. To support you once you leave us, this manual is organized by subject area and includes a table of contents to help you weave your way through it. Just looking briefly over the table of contents, you'll find that Chapter 10 is all the basic phonics rules. Chapter 11 and 12 are the lesson plan components. Chapter 15 addresses syllable types, etc. Training does not proceed from the beginning to the end of the manual. On your syllabus, we have included page numbers at the start of each content area. Also on this page is information on other resources you might find helpful. Finally, a how-to index to use when you get back to your classroom and you're looking for instructions on how to do something. You can look down this page and find it. Turning next to wall cards, they are exactly what the name implies, wall cards for your classroom. They include the upper and lowercase letter, the correct starting point shown with a red dot when forming the letter, and an image of the keyword. These images also match the images in your primary picture deck. The primary picture deck is used in kindergarten and the early part of first grade. It includes the lowercase form of the letter and the picture of the keyword. We use it to teach or reinforce letter name, keyword, and letter sound. The syllable sort deck includes syllable cards which can be either words or syllables for each syllable type, and they can be used for a number of activities with the students. The blending board, we hope you enjoy this as much as teachers before you have. Obviously, it's intended for blending during the blending drill section of your lesson plan. Last is our large, basic deck about 4 inches high. I've saved this for last because we need to do some prep work for training. So with that, we'll move on to prepping the deck. The first thing we're going to do is personalize your deck. You might ask yourself, well, why do we personalize it? And the reason is so that you can easily distinguish your cards from your peers when they get mixed together. I promise you, no matter how hard you try, they will get mixed together. The other question is, why are we doing it now? Truly, it is more easily done before you handle your cards. Before I show you pictures of personalized decks, let me talk about the activity. We're going to place all your cards together on their side. Select a couple of Sharpies and color a wide horizontal line across your deck. I normally color 2 or 3 lines. The location of these lines on your deck is up to you. It can be the bottom, top, or the side. Finally, resist the urge to make lines diagonal. You want to make them horizontal, straight across. So these are some decks I've personalized. The deck on the left has an orange, a green, and a blue line on it. On the right, I have a purple, a red, and a blue line. It doesn't matter which colors you use. I also colored a second line on the deck to the left to identify which deck they belonged in. Personally, I didn't find that practice particularly useful and have discontinued it on my newer decks. Now, please pause this video and personalize your deck. Now that you've personalized your deck, let's organize the cards into more manageable groupings. First, set the Read by 3 card and the pink index cards aside, and we'll come back to those in a little bit. Now, beginning with your pink foundations card, 1.01 to 1.58, I want you to take this pink card plus all the white cards behind it until you get down to the next pink card. Let's put those together with a rubber band around them. Then, take the next pink card blends 2.01 to 2.37. Take the yellow cards that are behind it down to the next pink card and put a rubber band around those. Continue this activity, this sorting and banding, all the way through your deck, until at the end you have 10 stacks. Before we put our cards away, let's find Deck 8 and look at it for a minute. You look through Deck 8 and you'll notice a similar pattern. These cards have pictures on them. They have words on them in syllables. They have rules on them, like explaining what an open syllable is. So anytime you're looking for some instructional aids, you will usually, note the word usually, find them in Deck 8. In your bag of goodies, you'll find a plastic bag. You can put all these pink decks in that plastic bag, and now you're ready to go. This is the way I organized my cards for a long time. Eventually, I did graduate to a box with dividers. Each individual deck is behind the correct divider number. Just an aside, whether I'm carrying my cards around in a plastic bag or I'm putting them in a box, I do not attempt to keep them in order. I do attempt to keep them in the right section. Periodically, I'll put them back in order just to make sure I still have everything. Now, returning to the basic deck index cards, you'll see that I staple my cards together on the left-hand side, and then I can just fan these cards as I would a book. I find these cards invaluable when I'm writing a lesson plan, then preparing and delivering it. This is my source when I need to know where to find a card and what the keyword is. Let's look at the card covering the Foundations deck. This is deck 1.01 to 1.58. You'll see that the first column contains information about what's on the front of the card. So A, B, C, all the way down to AR, ER, IR, OR, UR, all combined in one card. The first column is what's on the front of the card. The second column is the number of the card, so A is 1.01, T is 1.20, A consonant E is 1.40, etc. Then you have the keywords supporting the sounds the card makes. So A makes 3 sounds, a, so it's apple, baby, about. The balance of the index cards work in the same fashion. At the top of the card, you'll see the name, blends, exceptions, vowel teams, etc. And then on the front of the card, the number and the keyword. And with that, we have successfully organized our decks for OG instructions. Well done!